Well, we have patients with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, with melanoma, that's been the biggest example, certain colon cancers, and even some lung cancers, in which patients were desperate at the end of the road, if you will, from our conventional chemotherapy, who've had dramatic responses, new lives given to them for extended periods of time.
Dr. Frank Esper is from University Hospital's Case Medical Center. He specializes in infectious diseases.
There's always this concern, can you spread from one person to the next, and then will that next person spread it to another? That's not going to happen.
He revealed for the first time that he has dementia. Joining me on the story is neurologist at the University Hospital's Cleveland Medical Center, Dr. Brian Appleby.
We want to get back to these live births we've been telling you about and showing you all morning. Let's go to NBC's Stephanie Gosk, a new mom. She's at the University Hospital's Case Medical Center in Cleveland.
In Brazil, Zika virus has been linked with microcephaly. Dr. Stacy Ehrenberg is a high-risk pregnancy expert at University Hospital's Case Medical Center in Cleveland.
We don't have any patients here in the continental United States who have actually contracted the virus here.
How often should you be checked? Joining me now, Dr. Donna Plecha, Director of Breast Imaging at University Hospital's Seidman Cancer Center in Cleveland.
The medical term for broken heart syndrome is stress cardiomyopathy, and it has to do with stress hormones such as adrenaline.
So in an extremely stressful, especially a sudden stressful state, there is a large amount of release of these hormones.
Lowering your blood pressure far below the current guidelines could help a lot of people live longer.
About 1 in 3 patients with hypertension is either undertreated or untreated for their blood pressure.
Noting Janet had a stress-free, healthy delivery and is resting comfortably. Dr. Kimberly Gatesy is an OBGYN at University Hospital's Cleveland Medical Center.
There are increased risks of hypertension diseases, specifically preeclampsia.
We're going to keep an eye on them. Back to you for now.
For a better sense, as Sanjay pointed out there, they're headed to rehab now. Joining us now, Dr. Edward Barksdale, who's the head of pediatric surgery at the Rainbow Babies Children's Hospital.
Parents say that girls each got pieces of their shared organs and both will likely need a prosthetic leg.
My hat goes off to the group at Stanford, not only for their technique, their compassion, but also their use of innovative technologies in order to accomplish this difficult operation.
And joining me now, the medical director of Child Advocacy and Protection at Case Medical Center, Dr. Lolita McDavid.
It's a fairly mild illness. People have a rash, they have fever, they may have joint pain.
Zika virus, suspected of causing birth defects, is now in 26 countries and territories in the Americas.
Once microcephaly starts to develop, we can't fix it.
The panel made the change after studies showed there wasn't a clear connection between eating foods high in cholesterol and the amount of bad cholesterol that ends up in the blood.
It's an excellent source of protein. There's about 70 calories in 1 egg and 7 grams of protein.
Dr. Smitha Krishnamurthy, who's an oncologist at the University Hospital Seidman Cancer Center. Doctor, good to have you with us.
This study showed a clear increase in colorectal cancer.
Lindor tags, he's coming home. The Indians and the Cubs.
The greatest of the hitters fail 70% of the time.
Hey, did you hear about this? Bruno Mars jumped off stage at a concert in Cleveland Saturday night and serenaded a certain girl in the crowd.
Now let's welcome Jenny McCarthy and Jim Carrey to Larry King Live. Dr. Max Wisnitzer, pediatric neurologist, Rainbow Babies and Children's Hospital in Cleveland. He's been dealing with autistic children for 25 years.
Well, we know that in about 10 to 15% of the cases, we can identify a genetic causation, unlike the number that was quoted beforehand.
Everyone's got a vision during a pregnancy of what's supposed to happen, and that vision never involves the NICU.
It's Sunday night in Cleveland, Ohio, and we're broadcasting live from OR 23, an operating room at University Hospital's Case Medical Center, where right now a team of doctors is performing brain surgery. And if that isn't remarkable enough, here's another detail. The patient they are operating on is awake.
Microelectrode. But yeah, it's roughly 5 times as wide in the total width of it. We don't want to place this one more than once, so that's why we do all our testing with the small electrodes, and then we place this one just a single time into what we know is the perfect spot.